Not every movie with Paul Walker is about fast cars. What's up, Hellraisers? Welcome back to another movie review. And today's movie review is one of my all-time favorites, and I consider this to be a hidden gem. If you don't know what that means, basically a movie you probably never heard of, which is so underrated, so underappreciated, and Joyride is just that. Joyride tells the story about a man who looks to go and win over a girl's heart. He buys a car to go and pick her up. Along the way, he got to pick up his brother. And they decided to get a CB radio to put in the car. And they decided to put a prank on the wrong truck driver. And from there on and all the way to the end, they is looking to just have some good time. And the truck driver is not an ordinary truck driver. And they quickly found out that he is a very deranged man and he is not the truck driver to fuck with. Let's review Joyride. This bad boy off with all my pros. Man, Joyride is one of those films that I saw very young, and my mom was the first one to discover this movie. She said, Tevin, I have a movie that I know you're gonna like. Only because of the girl that played in the movie, of course, which is Lily Stanoki or something. I'm not really good at pronouncing her last name. And so I watched this movie. Not only I liked the movie because of her, but I liked the movie because of so much stuff that I got in my pros. So let's dive into the first pro. So my first pro with this movie will have to be the tension when it comes down to building the suspense. And this movie has a great pace of building the suspense. Not knowing what's going on until the movie starts is truly the best part of this entire fucking movie. And as soon as the boys is in the car, you quickly learn that they off to a bad start as soon as they get that radio. As soon as they get that CB radio, you automatically know something bad is about to happen. Another pro will have to be Paul Walker and Steve Zahn. These two have great chemistry. If you would have told me when I first watched this movie, if you would have told me that these two were brothers, I would have believed you because of the chemistry that they have together. On the screen, their chemistry feels like real life brothers. It feels like what a little brother and a big brother would do. And that right there alone, just that alone, is good enough for this movie to be even talked about. I'm actually quite surprised that this movie has a small amount of cult following that it does. But this is one of those movies that have great chemistry for a situation that this movie goes for. And without their chemistry, this movie probably would never work. Another pro for me would have to be the voice of Rusty Nail being portrayed by Ted Levine. When it comes down to the horror community, we know who that voice is. As soon as you hear that voice, you know that's Ted Levine. However, we got some problems with that in the con. There's going to only be one con about this movie. But like I said, Rusty Nail, the voice of Ted Levine is fucking awesome. It's so bone chilling. He say things so slow and then it's much more like a low pitch. He ain't going too loud, yelling and screaming. It's just a perfect pace, and he know exactly what line to go real high, go real low. Ted Levine did such a fantastic job with the voice of Rusty Nail. Another pro for me will have to go with Lily Chabobi, whatever her last name is. I love how she just come into the mix out of middle of nowhere, which you already know the movie is going to introduce her later on. But she just she don't know what's going on. She don't know what the brothers did early on in the movie. They were basically, spoiler alert, throughout this entire review. They basically torn with this little CB radio thing, and then they ended up contacting the wrong truck driver, and then she ended up being the third wheel in the middle of this whole cat and mouse game, if you would say. And so she don't know what's going on. She's just on the outside looking in, and so they gotta fill her in, but they ain't giving her enough information. But when it comes down to Paul Walker, Steve Zahn, and Lily, you can kind of tell that their chemistry was well crafted because the movie kind of turned out to be like this little love triangle between the three of them. And so you don't really know if this is gonna be like the first half, it's gonna be like this love story, then the middle gonna be like this thriller ride, and then at the end it's gonna be like this little love triangle, but then the ending kind of flip upside down when Rusty Nail decided he want to up the intensity and fuck with these boys even more. So putting her in the mix kind of woke with the story. It moved. Let's just say it's a great pace from the beginning, middle to the end. Moving on into the con, really there's only one con that I have with this movie, and that is seeing Rusty Nail's face at the end, spoiler, seeing Rusty Nail's face at the end almost kind of take me out of the movie. If we have not seen Rusty Nail's face, this probably would have been a straight up 10 out of 10 movie. But the fact that we saw Rusty Nail's face, I don't know. It just kind of take away the mystery about Rusty Nail. That is something that I truly hold against this movie. You showed me what the guy looked like. If you didn't show me what he looked like, this would have been a straight up A+ movie. But like I said, it doesn't take away my love for the movie. I still love this movie, but it's just that we see Rusty Nail's face. There's nothing scary about him. Now that we know what he looks like, we can't use our imagination. It just kind of takes away. But like I said, Joyride is just one of those films that I enjoy at a very young age, and all these years later watching it, and I still get that little eerie feeling about truck drivers. And even if I see a truck driver, I'm not fucking with those CB radio anyway. But like I said, my overall thought is that Joyride is a thriller ride of a movie. You don't know where it's gonna take you. If you watch the trailer is almost misleading because the trailer kind of play it out to be a love movie. It's like a drama film, but then it just turns upside down when you watch the actual film. I don't know if that was something that they wanted to keep hidden in the marketing. I'm not sure what they were going for there, but the trailer is completely different. But like I said, Joyride, a thriller ride of a movie. You don't know what's going on until this bad boy starts. I highly recommend Joyride, and this is going to be in my playlist that I made, I think, a couple months ago called Hidden Gems. So this is going to be one of those films that I recommend all of my Hellraisers to check out, if not some of you to check this out. It's a thriller ride. You never know where this bad boy is going until you play. So with all that being said, if you want to get in touch with me, all my social media link will be in the description down below. My name is Tevin Johnson, and I love horror movies. So make sure you drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that bell notification so that way when I drop another lit video for the channel, you'll be the first ones to get it. So with all that being said, peace.